The moment the elevator doors slid open, I knew something was wrong. My name wasn't on the schedule. My badge didn't scan. And yet, everyone in the boardroom froze when they saw me, not because I didn't belong, but because they suddenly realized I did. I wasn't the assistant anymore. I was the decision maker. The CEO. So how did I get here, and why does no one in my own family know? It started with being underestimated. Not once. Not twice. Every single day for a decade. While my sister basked in Ivy League praise and LinkedIn likes, I was quietly building an empire from a second-hand laptop in a cramped studio apartment. They called it a phase. A hobby. A little digital thing. I let them talk. I let them laugh. And I kept building. Through the doubt. Through the silence. Through the loneliness of knowing that the people who were supposed to believe in me the most, never did. Until the day my sister bragged about her dream interview with my company. The one she didn't know I owned. The one where she'd find me, sitting at the head of the table. She thought she was walking into her future. She had no idea she was walking into my legacy. So when the truth hit, and her resume started to unravel under real scrutiny, only one question remained. Would she survive the final round, with me? That's cute. My uncle said when I told him I'd started a business. But what's your real plan? I laughed it off, like I always did. But inside, it burned. Not because he doubted me, I was used to that, but because everyone did. To them, I was the artsy one. The indecisive one. The one who never quite figured it out. What they didn't see were the 3 a.m. client calls, the contracts I fought tooth and nail to win, or the quiet nights I cried from exhaustion but kept building anyway. They talked over me at dinners. Forgot to ask what I was working on. Called it a little project while praising my sister's every step. And I let them. I let them believe what they wanted because I knew what was coming. Knew one day they'd see the name on the company they'd all heard of and realize it was mine. That the phase they dismissed had become a multi-million-dollar force. And here's the part they never understood. I didn't need applause. I needed time. Time to build something they couldn't ignore. And now? It's too late to pretend they believed in me all along. Cascade Logic. The name dropped from Clarissa's lips like it was a golden ticket. I've got an interview with them next week, she announced, chin high, eyes gleaming. Everyone at the table erupted, clapping, toasting, bragging on her behalf. My mom beamed like she'd just won something. My dad called it the big leagues. And me? I just smiled quietly, swirling my drink, watching the celebration unfold. She had no idea. No idea that the company she called game-changing was mine. That I'd built it from scratch in a shoebox apartment while she strutted through campuses with Ivy League confidence. That the strategy role she was dreaming of had passed through my hands, my hiring process, my desk. Then, as if the universe needed a punchline, she turned to me and said with a smirk. Maybe if I get in, I can help you land something too. Admin work, maybe? The irony was sharp enough to cut glass. She thought she was walking into her future. What she didn't know was that she was walking straight into my boardroom, where I'd be sitting at the head of the table. And the only question left was, would she recognize me when the truth hit? I didn't correct her. Not when she called Cascade Logic the kind of place that only hires the best. Not when she said their CEO was a total mystery, probably some genius guy in Silicon Valley. I just nodded, let her talk, let her feel powerful. Because the truth? I was already in motion. Behind the scenes. Quietly. Strategically. My name wasn't on the website. My photo wasn't in press kits. I'd built Cascade Logic under a professional alias, Erin Lin, not because I was hiding, but because I wanted the work to speak first. And now, it was time. I'd reviewed every resume. I'd watched her interview request land in our HR portal like fate playing a long game. Her qualifications? Polished. Her cover letter? Pretentious. But she checked enough boxes to get through to final rounds, just like I intended. 3 senior interviews were already scheduled. They knew exactly what to ask. I didn't need to sabotage her. I just needed to watch the truth surface when she realized credentials mean nothing without depth. I wasn't out for revenge. I was out for clarity. And by the time she walked into that final interview room, she wouldn't be the only one being evaluated. From behind the one-way glass, I watched her walk in like she owned the place. Chanel suit. Confident stride, rehearsed smile, she was every bit the image of success our family loved to show off. But as the minutes ticked by, that polished exterior began to crack. The first interviewer asked her to walk through a real strategy problem. She stumbled. The second pushed her on results, not buzzwords. She deflected. By the third, the sparkle in her eyes had dulled, replaced by something unfamiliar on her face, doubt. No one was being cruel. They were just doing their jobs, peeling back the layers she'd built with connections and curated LinkedIn posts. Without the cushion of family praise or a last name that opened doors. She floundered. I knew those rooms well. I'd sat in them, built them, led them. And I knew something she didn't. Confidence can get you in the room. Competence decides if you stay. As her final interview approached, mine, she straightened her blazer and took a deep breath. She thought this was just another meeting she could charm her way through. She had no idea who was waiting on the other side of that door. But she was about to find out. She stepped into my office with the same poise she'd worn all day, polished, practiced, perfect. Her eyes scanned the room, widening just slightly at the floor-to-ceiling windows, the curated art, the nameplate on the desk, E.R. Lynn. Still, she didn't flinch. Not yet. Thank you for meeting with me, Mr. Lynn, she said, sitting gracefully. I turned my chair slowly to face her. Our eyes met. It's Miss Lynn, I replied. Emily Renee Lynn. The silence that followed was deafening. Her jaw didn't drop, not dramatically, but her face changed in an instant. Confusion, realization, disbelief. She blinked once, twice. Like trying to clear the image in front of her. You're the CEO, she whispered. Hello, Clarissa. I let the moment settle like dust in the air. Let her mind rush through years of dismissal, eye rolls, and backhanded pity. Let her replay every time she'd told me I should try harder. She looked down, searching for her polished answers. They were gone. This wasn't the interview she had prepared for. And suddenly, neither the suit nor the resume could protect her from the truth sitting across the table. She didn't speak for a full 10 seconds, a lifetime in that room. Then her voice cracked, thin and defensive. You lied to us. You made us think you were struggling. I leaned back, calm. No. Clarissa. You assumed I was struggling. You never asked. You never looked deeper. You were too busy believing your own version of me. She stood, shaky now, pride unraveling with every breath. Are you going to tell Mom and Dad? Make a show of this? I shook my head. I don't need to. Your performance today speaks for itself. 3 independent partners said the same thing, unprepared, entitled, and all surface. She flinched like I'd slapped her. You set me up. You asked for an opportunity. You got one. I rose and walked to the door, my tone even. You're not the right fit, Clarissa. Maybe someday, when you've earned more than just accolades. She paused in the doorway, mascara starting to smudge. Does the family know? They will. I said softly. I'm sure you'll tell them your version. Then I pressed the intercom. Nia, please escort Miss Lin out. And just like that, the door closed, on the interview. And on who she thought I was. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. Being underestimated isn't always a disadvantage, it's often your greatest advantage. While they're busy doubting you, you get to build in silence. No pressure. No expectations. Just progress. That's the real story behind this one, not revenge, not ego, but the quiet power of persistence without applause. In today's world, where social media glorifies instant success and curated perfection, it's easy to feel like you're behind if your journey doesn't come with fanfare. But the truth is, the strongest foundations are built off camera. You don't need everyone to understand your path. You just need to stay on it. Here's what I've learned, and what you can take with you. Don't chase validation from people who've already decided what you're capable of. Let your progress be louder than your explanations. Focus on building, not proving. And most importantly, hold your vision tight, even when no one claps. Especially then. If you're in a season of being overlooked, don't rush the reveal. Refine your craft. Learn everything. Stay grounded. And when your moment comes, you won't need to announce it. The results will speak loud enough. Because one day, the same people who laughed will ask how you did it. And you'll answer with nothing but calm. I just kept going.